Last week we started our discussion on linear equations, and it's only a review from your freshman algebra standard, and we have covered the following objectives so far. Number 1, recall terms involving the coordinate plane. Number 2, review on how to plot points. We also reviewed on the slopes of lines and the intercepts of the graphs of linear functions. We also talked about the different equations of lines, and today the last concept will be on graphing linear equations. And we will be providing you two different methods in graphing. The first method in graphing is through making a table of values. I could refer to the table of method by input-output table or the XY table. For now, I want you to include three values in your table: a negative number, a 0, and a positive number. Okay, so let's take a look into the given function y equals 3x plus 2. And I want you to take a look closely into our table. So the x values, negative 2, 0, and 1, are the ones we are choosing. Take note, we choose the x values. We will choose one negative, a 0, and a positive. And as much as possible, choose the smaller values. You can even have negative 1, 0, and positive 1. So these are your input values, and you're going to use these x values to find the value for y using the given function. So y equals 3x plus 2 when x equals negative 2. So you have to replace x with negative 2. So 3 times negative 2, that's negative 6, plus 2, that is negative 4. That is why the partner of negative 2 here is negative 4. Now, moving on to the second value of x that we chose, that's 0. So 3 times 0 is 0, and plus 2, when x equals 0, the value for y is positive 2. And lastly, the x value is 1. So when 3 times 1 plus 2, and that gives you 5. So take note that by making a table of values, it gives you 3 points. In our case this time, we have negative 2, negative 4, 0, 2, and 1 and 5. We're then going to plot the following points in a rectangular plane. So take note, we have the 3 points plotted here. And after plotting the following points, we can use a straight line to connect them. And that is the graph of our linear function y equals 3x plus 2. Okay, so let's proceed to the next method. The second method is using the slope-intercept form of your line. So we are going to use slope-intercept graphing this time, and the steps are the following. The first one, make sure the equation of the line is in the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Number 2, identify the slope and the y-intercept. Number 3, you're going to plot the y-intercept. So take note, the y-intercept is a point where your graph touches the y-axis. Okay, number 4, from the y-intercept, use the slope to get another point to draw the line. Okay, so let's take a look closely. This is our function in y-intercept form. The slope is 3. That's 3x plus 2. That's m is 3, and it is actually rise over run, so it can be in the form positive 3 over 1 or negative 3 over negative 1. But if you're more comfortable, please use the positive values. And the y-intercept is 2, which means that if you're going to use the point of the y-intercept, that will be at 0, 2. Okay, so next, number 3, plot 0, 2. That is your y-intercept. Okay, so after having that, number 4, from the y-intercept, we're going to go for the rise and run. So 3 units up and 1 unit to the right. Again, from your y-intercept, the graph should be moved, the next step should be moving 3 units up, that's your rise, and 1 unit to the right, that's your run. Okay, so after having that, plot the point there, and now you have 2 points. You can now connect them through a line, and that is how we graph a line using the slope-intercept method. I hope that this helps. If not, you can always ask questions when we have our online discussion towards the end of our period. Thank you and have a good day.